Hello friends, this is Self-Critical Automaton. I am playing Dark Souls. It's time for the final zone of Ulasil. This is the Chasm of the Abyss, I believe. Pretty gross. Dark, full of slime, you know. Much like your average pub on a Saturday night. Haha, take that, pubs. Yeah, so there's not that much to say about it, except that this is sort of the... no, that's a trap. Yeah, there's... Oh, it's not a trap. No, I should have killed it. Fuck. There's a whole bunch of bloat heads down here, and they're quite hard to spot because it's pitch dark. As you can see, I've switched to... That was incautious. This is Dark Souls. I would not have expected treading on something that looks like that to not hurt me. But, yeah, so... Chasm of the Abyss. This is presumably a transitional zone between the Abyss itself and the real world, so to speak, as represented by Ulasil. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Yeah, there's at least one sorcerer there, possibly more. Incidentally, before this episode started, I ran back to visit Elizabeth and bought up all her pine resins. Ah, for fuck's sake. Because she is, lightning is good for this boss. Am I safe? I'm safe behind this convenient stalactite. Or is it a stalagmite? One, I know that the difference is that one hangs down and the other grows upwards, but I can never remember which one is which. Stalagmite, stalactite. Oh wait, no, I remember. This is what my mum told me when I was quite little and learning geography. It's stalactites that hang down from the ceiling, because on the washing line, tights hang down from the washing line. I don't know to what degree that is geographical praxis, but, you know, if it works, don't knock it. So, there's a bunch of loot to run around and grab, but there's also some interesting stuff. And, green titanite, useful, it was useful. Dark bead is a dark sorcery. Sorcery is infused with dark. It's one of the spells that, these guys cast at you. Anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of secret doors and stuff, and there's something very interesting which we will see shortly. Bye. Ulasil's very pleasant in the fall. Oh no, I already used that one. But yeah, so as you can see, there's items dotted around. We're essentially crawling down the side of a big open chasm. And this is fucking weird and very interesting from a lore perspective. Those are humanity phantoms. If we look at the humanity, it looks very similar, right? Rare tiny black sprite found on corpses. This black sprite is called humanity, but little is known about its true nature. If the soul is the source of all life, what distinguishes the humanity that we hold within ourselves? So, as you can see, these are much larger. It's, the people of Ulasil are referred to as having had their humanity go wild, which is why they are, is that not where the secret door is? Okay. Which is one of the reasons Ulasil is all fucked up, and they turn into bloatheads. Perhaps humanity, when not part of a human, this is what happens when humanity as an abstract concept goes wild. You get these. They are completely non-physical like ghosts, but you can hit them, unlike ghosts. And they can do damage and will hurt you. They are worth almost no souls, but they do have very good drops of humanity, as you might expect. But yeah, they just touch you to damage you, which can be a pain. But yeah, so that's interesting, right? These things have lots of humanity and no souls, or very few souls. So, perhaps when humanity is, you know, divested of its mortal form... Normally when humanity is divested of its mortal form, we get the little black sprites called humanity that I've got about 20 of in my pocket. Perhaps if there's shitloads of them... Ah, fuck. If there's shitloads of them... Oh, don't fall down the hole. Ah, Christ. Oh, Huh, okay. I actually didn't know about this secret door. Or possibly I had forgotten. I mean... Oh, that's right. That looks familiar, right? That is Alvina. What's Alvina doing here? Completely unexplained. But Alvina leads us towards a certain interesting location where we will see an old friend. Assuming we don't fall down and die. Which is pretty much the only thing I'm good at, you know, falling down and dying. But, yeah, that's besides the point, which is that this is now the best location for farming humanity in the game, apparently. Much better than the, tiny babies. This is a shortcut. This leads back up to, I'm just going to activate it and then get on with what I was doing. Yep, lots of messages here, just so that you definitely find that. It's a very helpful community when they're not, you know, putting amazing chest ahead in front of Guinevere's bedroom. That's a really big one. That is. Weirdly, it makes me think of like a bouncer. Like, outside a pub. Like, looming over the patrons. Anyway, so in here we have more humanity phantoms. And what's that? That's a glowing golden thing. Well, we'll be able to see soon. So, I'm just going to tell you. You know, screw it. That is Sif, the great white wolf. As a tiny puppy. Tiny, precious little doggles. It's also really hard to judge the range on the humanity sprites because they're sort of... They don't have a physical presence, but it's also quite hard to tell where they are in space terms. As you can see, they can't touch Sif. They're repelled by that border. Now, isn't that interesting? Sif here has the Sword of Artorias. But if you look, the handle's not broken, so that means there must have been two Swords of Artorias. One of which Sif had, and one of which Artorias had. But that's not really what I'm about right now, which is... Look, it's Sif! Hello! So, this is essentially why Artorias did not have his shield when we fought him. His arm was broken down here in the abyss, and Sif was trapped, so he left his shield to, you know, create an enchanted protective barrier around Sif to take care of Sif. Then you turn up and you rescue Sif, and Sif escapes. And if you do this DLC before you fight Sif in as the boss battle, there is actually a different cutscene, which is pretty neat. Pretty neat. Yeah, I'm not sure how to get back up to before where I fell down from. Is that a grammatically accurate sentence? Grammatically acceptable? I don't know. Anyway, here's another loot. Oh, cripes. That was close. Manus is resistant to fire, so I might as well just do that. So I drop down here. It's really hard to navigate because it's completely fucking pitch black. Oh, cripes! Oh, that's what I did before. That's okay. So yeah, This is where we saw... Now, yeah, so the connection that's implied there between Alvina and Sif, like, there is implicitly a connection because Alvina is leading you to Sif, and Sif will later show up as an ally in the boss fight against Manus. So, but as I was saying when I was talking about Alvina before, there's not really any kind of indication what is up with Alvina. Who is Alvina? Why is she doing what she's doing? You know, it's all a bit mysterious, because it's Dark Souls. That's Dark Souls. Oh, for... There we go. So yeah, I mean, technically it might be more efficient to farm these guys for Hu-Manus-Ty, but I think I would personally still, if I wanted to farm Hu-Manus-Ty, farm it in the baby pit, simply because it feels more efficient, even if it isn't more efficient. The babies might have lower drop rates, but I can't shake the feeling that, like, the fact that you can just run around and they spawn infinitely, whereas here in the Pit of the Abyss, there's only a finite number of these guys, so you have to trek back to the bonfire and, one Hu-Manus-Ty, huh? Okie dokie. I think the only way off here is to drop, so... Oh, there's... Oh! Oh, the Hu-Manus-Ty was off the thing I killed, sorry. I thought it was off the guy. But the help me carving, yep, that's a good one to have. Kind of a... You know what I talk about? Dark Souls and its sort of implicit storytelling? This guy was like, help me! I'm falling! Oh, aha! See that over there? That is Manus' face. If you use a good bow and, what's the hawk ring? Oh, that reminds me. I never went back to talk to Hawkeye Gow, did I? Ah, that was dumb. I should have done that. Well, maybe I will. Because I probably won't beat Manus on the first chance. First try. Because he's tough. He's actually got the highest hit points of any enemy in the game. But... Ah, Black Flame, fantastic. Black Flame is a pyromancy that channels darkness instead of fire, which is interesting that you can do that with pyromancy or with yeah. So yeah, if you equip the hawk ring, if you equip the hawk ring, which gives you greater range on your I think it's any ranged attacks, or it might just be bow attacks, you can actually shoot Manus from outside his fog gate. This is a cheese strat, but you know, this is Dark Souls. If you really can't beat a boss, there's no reason not to cheese. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna need to go refresh my Estus before I try and fight Manus anyway. But yeah, I suppose that's what I'll do. But I do want to finish clearing out this place. Anyway, yeah, so from here you can hit him. Actually, that's text on the ground. That's not Manus at all. That's text on the ground, and I'm an idiot. But there is a spot in here where you can see Manus' cluster of eyes, and with enough range you can shoot him in the head a whole bunch until he dies, which takes fucking ages, because, as I said, he has the most hit points of any boss in the game. Yeah, it's not unlike using... Because it's like I've said, the bosses in Dark Souls aren't in their own separate realms, you know? Behind the fog gate is just... It's open space, sort of, but it's not like... It's not a separate instance, it is a part of the same level. The fog gate is just a physical barrier, like a wall. It's still part of the same zone, part of the same area. Aha! Oh no, that's... Oh, I thought that was treasure, but that's... Oh, but, you know, if I'm back here, I might as well go have a chat with people. Yeah, so who or what Manus is not explicit. Most people reckon that Manus is what remains of the furtive pygmy, and that the people of Ulasil were encouraged by a primordial serpent, presumably Karth, to draw upon the humanity of Manus, the Hu-Manus-Ty. Oh, the Hu-Manus-Ty. That's it, that's the episode title.
Oh, you have quite some nerve. Or are you just thick?
Fuck you, buddy.
Then. Did you really slay Knight Artorias? I'd heard the Abyss found him first, but even still, that's absolutely treacherous. Yes, magnificently so.
What a lovely gentleman.
Believe it or not, Hu-Manus-Ty has brought the Abyss upon itself, fooled by that toothy serpent. They upturned the grave of primeval man and incited his ornery wrath. What could they have been thinking? Ah, to you and I, it's all ancient history. You have to ask yourself, does it really matter?
So yeah, that's actually pretty clear. That's pretty clearly implying that it is that Manus is the furtive pygmy. If the furtive pygmy is the progenitor of humanity, which is speculation.
Well, you've quite the nerve. I've had enough of you.
Oh, okay, whatever, guy.
I'll be seeing you.
Yeah, if you want his armor set, you can just kill him there. But he's a tricksy fighter. Tricksy. See what they say. Need knight. Need humanity. Hope. That's quite a... I bet this one says secret wall ahead. Oh, liar ahead. So there must be a lot of secret wall ahead messages here, because people only put liar ahead down if someone puts down false or erroneous messages. It's interesting that this corpse just remains, you know. Yeah. So all of that stuff I said. Let's go talk to Hawkeye Gal. Hawkeye Gal incidentally mentions a connection with the blacksmith of Anor Londo, which is, borne out by the fact that where you find the Hawk Ring, Gal's ring, is behind the blacksmith. The blacksmith keeps it in a treasure chest, which, clearly implies that it's important to him, or was important to him. He doesn't object when you take it. Imminent giant. What up, big guy?
Thou hast defeated Calamite, wondrously played. Lord Gwyn's blessing upon thee. That beast will never take to the skies again. This great bow, I shan't need it, but no dragons to hunt. I know not if a human could even operate it. But here, thy need outweighs mine.
So that's pretty neat. He does give you his bow. So yeah, with the death of Calamite, he seems to think it's the end of dragons, but, this game does make a clear distinction between dragons and drakes, but, the biggest drakes are bigger than the biggest dragons. The biggest drake we fight is a Hellkite drake, and that's huge. So it's not like, it's not like we don't need people to hunt big flying lizardy monsters. Like, I get that maybe Gal was just specialised in dragons, but there's not that much difference between dragons and drakes, and we could use someone to hunt drakes. Kind of,
I suspect thou hast taken a gander at it, but the dark of the abyss, which swallowed poor Artorias, threatens to devour our entire land of Hu-Manus-Ty. It seems that this dire fate is unavoidable, but, seduced by a dark serpent or no, they awoke that thing themselves and drove it mad. One's demise is always one's own making.
Pretty pessimistic there, guy. Yeah. I can't remember if he says it or someone else does, but that rust on his helmet, that's not rust, that's sap, I think, which was stuffed into his helmet and has rendered him blind. He's not blind because his eyes don't work, he's blind because someone filled up the holes in his helmet out of which he looks. I don't know why he can't just take the helmet off. Maybe there is some kind of an interesting connection with giants and their facelessness and how they have to cover their lack of faces. But, you know,
If thine wish is to succeed poor Artorias and challenge the spread of the dark, then thou must face Manus, father of the abyss. The dark emanates from Manus himself. Even if this land shall expire, thou may be able to prevent further corrosion. But even so, one day the flames will fade, and only dark will remain, and even a legend such as thyself can do nothing to stop that.
now see, that's interesting because he's just explicitly undercut the goal of the entire narrative of this game. Everyone we meet tells us, you know, you've got to go become the great hero and ring the bells and take over for Gwyn, meet a goddess, and she tells you to go kill Gwyn and take his Gwynishness and become the new Gwyn to fight back and push back the Age of Dark. But here is the guy who was there, you know, this guy lived through all of the golden age of history, and here he is saying, you know, fuck it. It's all gonna fall down eventually. You know, you can't really stop it.
Do not mistake my words. I cherish my work. Wood carving is a nuanced art. I would have much to talk about with that blacksmith. In truth, how is the old chap, I wonder? Still hammering away, I should hope.
Oh, that's the end of that then, I guess. So, I know that it's referenced somewhere, the thing I said about sap, but I don't know where. Is it on the bow itself? Let's see, I'm carrying way too much shit. Ah, here we go. The bow is larger even than those used by the famed dragon slayers. Only their leader, Gao, had the strength to handle it. Okay, now that's interesting. I never realised that before, but yeah, that must mean that the Silver Knights with great bows are the, you know, the remnants of the Legion of the Great Archers, right? Because it's called the Dragon Slayer Great Bow, and it's identical to the ones used by Silver Knights. So, that's interesting. That means that Gao didn't lead a legion of giants. Gao is the only giant we've seen who isn't a slave. Because the giant blacksmith is dressed identically to the giant slaves, who are explicitly referred to as giant slaves. So that's kind of interesting. I don't really know what that means, what that says, but it's still fucking interesting, right? So, yeah, that's probably going to be the end of this episode. Next time, I'll go fight Manus. And, probably die a whole bunch. Where's my wave? There it is. Bye!